first of all, happy Mother's Day.
Oh, thank you. You know, I forgot it was Mother's Day coming up.
We just had Mother's Day by the time you guys listen to this, but we recorded before, so we don't know what you did. But
No,
we're assuming Cutter
nothing.
just. Let's address the elephant in the room, okay?
I. Mm.
Or the tiny baby elephant that's not in the room. And that's my best pal, Rob. Rob's not on the pod. I know that's going to upset a lot of you Robophiles out there. Just know that we really did everything we could to try and get the three of us. At one point in the week, it was just me and Rob. Then another, it was me and Jamie. There was a possibility of no me. I mean, that would have been really delightful for the listeners, I feel like. But Rob had a bachelor party.
He's living life right now. You know what, Rob?
That's
Rob
right.
has had. I respect for the last 2 weeks and then the next 2 weeks. He's out there. He's getting out there, and I think that will serve for better pod. It's like we have to let him go for one to make the next few incredible.
We have to let go of our baby bird, let him fly away. And if he comes back, then this pod was meant to be.
That's right.
It is nice to know that he is out there living in a different world,
right?
Experiencing different people, eating different foods. I got a call from him last night, and I don't know if you talked to him, but he was real jazzed, real fired up.
About
I don't know if I can say, but I will.
I don't either, but I got a text, I think,
yes.
of what you're speaking of.
So maybe he brings that back to the pod. Last time Robbie was gone, we at the top of the pod decided we would talk about all the things we loved about Rob. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to, for this pod, talk about things we hate about Rob. Okay. Now I will kick it off so you can kind of see the tone of how I'm doing this, because obviously I'm not gonna really dig into Rob here. But I think it's fair that while he's gone and we're doing the heavy lifting of the pod, that we get to jab him a little bit. These are like little free jabs.
Okay.
And it's all in fun. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And I will start. All right.
Okay.
Number one thing I quote unquote hate about Rob, and it's not even a hate, when it comes to his dietary restrictions, he's not a friend I can call on when I'm like, let's go, like, let's try this new thing, or like, let's go to this place. We have wonderful dinners like at Catch, but like that's because it's vetted already.
Yes.
He is very careful about what he eats, because in his defense, he really takes good care of himself, and he's not going to go somewhere that's untested, unvetted, and just start eating whatever. But I have to close that door in my mind of like, that's a friend. If I want to go try, you don't have to,
because he's willing to do this sushi dinner with us when you guys come here.
Yeah.
And that's going to be like, he has to eat a lot of rice, white rice.
But he does brown rice.
Rice, but he has no choice here.
Oh, they don't do white rice. Oh,
no, it's only white rice. It's only white rice.
To watch him squirm.
And there's no choices. You have to just eat what she makes. There's 17 courses. It's $300 a person. Like, it's a no joke, but it's truly like, even Cutter, who is like Scrooge and like doesn't think anything's good enough. And at the end of that meal, he was like, that was up there as one of the best things I've ever eaten in my life. Like, one of my best experiences ever.
Cannot wait. I am booking my plane tickets today.
You have to tell me so I can come pick you up.
Yeah. So I'm going to try and get there as early as possible.
Great.
And I'm going to try, I think Sarah's going to come in on a Saturday.
Great. I have a boat booked Sunday. It's going to be, I see the weather. It's going to be 100 degrees, but but we'll have pool day. What? We're going to be in the pool all day. We're going to be on the lake all day. It's going to be fine.
I'm a little nervous because I'm the most out of shape I've been in since you've known me. And I think I'm going to get into the pool with like a t-shirt and jeans.
That's fine. We won't post anything.
Please.
We'll post everything.
Okay. So what's one thing you we'll do quotations around hate about Robbie?
Oh.
I know he's listening to this right now, and I know he's just.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to be the way you're going to be like, Jamie, because I'm really trying to think of something.
It's hard.
I hate how there's nothing I hate how perfect he is.
I'm not going to let you get away with that.
Okay. I hate because, and I don't hate it. And I've said this before. It upsets me sometimes how self-assured he is in every situation of his life. Like, I'm jealous. Like, I'm like, fuck. Like, why can't I just know who I am in every single room that I go in and not be swayed or think was I too this or too that? Like, I don't think Rob ever leaves a room being like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, or, oh, I shouldn't. And I hate him that he can do that all the time. And
that's okay. Look, I'll let you have that. It's technically a compliment, but I'll let you have it. There's only been, and it's true though, there's only been a couple times where we've had a sort of like disagreement or some sort of conversation. And then either later that night or the next day, he was like, hey man, I just wanted to check in. Like, I think I was like, probably,
really?
Yeah. He's like, yeah. And it's,
you know what? He's done that common. Once with me.
It does mean more because it doesn't ever happen. But he also knows, I think, like, we're two safe spaces in his life to where he doesn't ever have to worry about like the butting of the heads and like, oh, Kassem's going to go home and fume. So I think that leaves the door open for him to like maybe come to think about stuff more and be like, oh yeah, maybe I was too hard, or maybe I didn't have the understanding of what he was saying versus what I was saying. And it's happened a couple of times, and it's just such a tasty treat. I take it every time and I savor it, and I make him say it again. No, I'm just kidding. It's been great though. It's hard to find a thing.
It really is. Briefly, quickly, before you come here, there's been a new discovery of a new type of bug. It's called...
Dude, fuck Texas. Fuck this place.
They're
discovering new bugs?
No, it's been around. I've discovered it. I don't remember it last year. It's called a no-see-um.
Oh,
because no. Because you barely can't see them.
They're called, that's such a Texas thing.
They're like little, of course, they're like little gnats, and they're like clear, but if they land on something, they look a little bit brown. And as you walk through them, they bite you.
No.
So right now, when I was coming down the outside of my house, we have all these bushes on the side of our house. We won't be coming down here, by the way. Up on the patio by the pool, there's no greenery for them to do. Everything's fake up there, so they won't bother us there. But down here in the grass, in the wilderness, the no-see-ums, I literally was just walking down to my office screaming because they were just biting me. And then they leave a red mark and it goes away in like a couple of seconds. A no-see-um.
See, that goes against everything. Every good part of what a gnat is the fact that they are annoying. They are in big clouds, but they don't bite generally.
You can just wave them away.
They took everything that was good about gnats and said, let's replace that with biting.
Correct.
I've got to say, I'm not looking forward to experiencing the environment of Austin. The one thing I am looking forward to is spending time with you and the family. I will do my best.
I understand.
To put aside any sort of uncomfort that I may have around bugs, the heat.
I will do my best to shield you from all of the extra, nature
we're sensitive boys. We're sensitive boys.
I know you are. We are actually having so did I tell you about my bird problem?
Oh, now we're talking. Let me actually, tell me about it and I'll come up with a solution.
Clearly somebody's got to lay an egg or something, and they're real desperate to have a covered area. And in our covered porch, it's pretty big. It's like a huge living room outside. And we have these big wooden beams. And I don't know where they fucking got the audacity. They land on our beams and are pecking holes into the beams, and now they're sticking mud and things. And I'm so like, I got an owl, didn't do anything.
Fake plastic owl. Yeah.
Now to the point where we see them, me and the boys run out, Bo's thrown like a plastic glove at one and pelted it. trying to give the message like, we're not friendly here, go away. They don't give a shit. So now we had to buy spikes, and I have a man coming today, and he's
you're installing spikes.
putting spikes that are going to look really ugly on my beautiful beams on our outside patio. But these motherfuckers will not. I am surrounded by hundreds of trees. What are you doing?
I am so sorry to hear this.
I hate wildlife.
I feel like I can really give you some empathy here because I am also going through a bird related another. So if you've been listening to this podcast, you know, over the last few years of the pod, I've had assorted issues with wildlife in my backyard. There was a raccoon thing where they were digging up my lawn. I had a mockingbird one last summer that just went for 3 months from 12 a.m. to 12 p.m.
3 months.
And then I decided to embrace it, right? So I bought a bird house. I feed them. I have a hummingbird feeder. I've decided to kind of lean into it a little bit. I watched this
You had crows too, didn't you?
Well, I had crows. Now the crows are back, and now they're doing some new shit. The crows are doing new behavior where they come down into my lawn and take a chunk of the lawn out. Like they're looking for little bugs or whatever underneath the little piece of dirt that's attached to the chunk they pull out.
Yeah.
So if you go out to my lawn right now, it just looks like a bunch of just a bunch of clumps of grass on top of the grass and then divots. And I can't stop them from doing it. I have a plastic owl and a plastic hawk. They know it's fake because they're genius birds. So there's nothing I can do about it.
They are such smart birds.
I have a chipmunk that's trying to get into the bird feeder because I ran out of spicy seed. I tried to olive oil the pole that the bird feeder is on. I got pigeons that are trying to get in on the bird feeder, but they're too big.
Words out about your house.
Yeah. So that's kind of, these are homeowner props. I'm really sad to hear that you're about to install spikes.
They've left me no option. They've left me, this has been almost a month. They're making serious damage in like my beams. And they don't give a shit. I'll be sitting out there and they don't give a shit. Not to mention the amount of bird poop that I'm cleaning as they do their work, because they shit while they work.
That's right. That's right. Well, I would recommend, maybe these guys are on it already, but you got to paint the spikes the color of the beam maybe to make it less of an eyesore.
Yeah. Guys, give me what I think they're sparrows. I think that's what.
But the thing is with sparrows, they are a seasonal thing, right? So they're going to do this for a little while, then they're going to move on, and then you're going to have these spikes sitting there. Do you want uninstall the spikes?
Yeah, I think so. I think we could it's just a row. I think we can take them right off. I mean, I have to repair the beams anyway and do something to it anyway.
These are the hard-hitting things we're going to get to on this pod.
This is why you listen to this pod.
This is why you listen. Up here in a little bit, I do have some emails, and I took some Instagram questions that we can get into.
Oh, great.
Guys, this podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp.
That's right.
You guys know that we're advocates of talk therapy, and there is a better, easier, and a much cheaper way to do it, and that's with BetterHelp.com. I signed up with BetterHelp, and it took me less than 48 hours to get lined up with a therapist. And by the way, I decided I didn't vibe with that therapist right away, so I sent them a message. I got matched with one like 5 hours later, and now that therapist is one that I talk to regularly. I can message my therapist anytime during the week. He gets a little inbox and he can reply back. So if we don't have our like hour-long session, I can send a message, and then I'm still communicating with my therapist if it's urgent. And by the way, it's a lot less than typical therapy.
That's right. BetterHelp is a customized online therapy. It offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist. So you don't have to see anyone on camera, even if you don't want to. And it's also, like Cass said, much more affordable than in-person therapy. And you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. So Pajama Pants listeners get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/pajama. That's betterhelp.com/pajama. So I started doing my athletic greens a little different because Robbie told me to.
What?
I'm popping it in my green juice. because it makes my green juice taste better.
It makes it greener.
It makes it greener, but it makes it taste better. I think we and if you don't know about Athletic Greens and what I take every morning, it is a product that literally covers all the boxes that you're wanting, right? 75 high quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, adaptogens. It's a great way to start your day. And like I said, it tastes really good. Most of these things wouldn't, and that's what keeps me coming back and keeps me healthy.
That's right. And by the way, I went to Boston recently and I took one of the little packets that they give you because you can't bring the big tin of it.
That's right.
So I bring the packets, I pop it in a thing of water. I got to try the green juice thing.
It helps.
That's a good tip. So right now it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition, especially heading into flu and cold season. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day, and that's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/pajama. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/pajama to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. I wanted to get your take on what I think is news, but I don't really know enough about it. So our version of the news is I'll ask you about a thing, you tell me what you know about it, and we'll feign like we have some sort of expertise in it. Okay.
Okay.
Because I assume you as a celebrity, you have a tribe, a group of women that you probably talk to about these things, and I'd love to get your vantage point on this stuff.
I got you.
First thing, Johnny Depp's trial. What do you know? What have you seen? As far as I know, everyone hates this girl, Amber Heard.
Mm-hmm.
The sentiment seems to be that she gaslighted and emotionally manipulated our boy Johnny, who at first was demonized.
That's right.
He was the picture was painted as him as a violent alcoholic abuser, and we've done a 180 on that narrative, and it seems like now she's the abuser.
Yeah.
Jamie-Lynn, where do you stand on this?
Well, I haven't watched it as much as I would have liked.
By the way, it's on TikTok. This whole thing like goes on TikTok, which is like a new way.
I also still don't have TikTok. I know.
No, good for you.
I really wish I could watch it because I just feel like I keep seeing snippets of things on Instagram or whatever. I think the argument that I keep hearing about it is none of this like erratic drunk behavior is necessarily anything new for Johnny. Like he has a history of this, and no other woman in his past has said he's also hit me. He's also been abusive to me. So, and if anything has said that he wasn't. So I think that's why it's seeming like people are kind of on his side to say of they're not quite buying her story because there's nothing to back it up other than her word.
Totally. There seems to be a lot of people that think she's putting it on for the camera.
She was definitely abusive to him as well.
Well, didn't he like lose a finger or like?
Yeah, she threw a glass that severed his finger. She pooped on his bed.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And blamed it on the dog.
Totally normal behavior.
She gaslit him a lot. You know, I love to say that word. Yeah. She was really abusive to him in a way, I guess, of but he also was not, I mean, he was a mess, and his kid didn't go to their wedding, which I think is really telling. But who knows if that has anything to do with him or her? Who knows? Yeah. But again, I wish I knew more about this trial than I do.
I think that's all I got. I think you've got the gist of it. I think that seems to be what I keep hearing.
To take a side feels weird to me. I think
if anything, that we don't know.
Yes, but if anything, I'm just looking at it being like, fuck, why is this on TV? Like, why does this have to be on television, right? This is so personal. This is so difficult. no matter who did what, I feel terrible for both of them that they're having to do this right now. It's
Yeah.
embarrassing. How do you come back from this?
I don't know. I feel like Johnny Depp will come back from this
You
because
do.
it seems like he
And this is
lost
why he did it.
work. Yeah, I mean, like he lost his job in the Harry Potter movies or whatever, the Fantastic Beasts. He was in and then they like let him go from that. He was for a while, just like anytime his name came up online, it was there was no shortage of people calling him an abuser, a drunk, and all this.
Yeah.
And what it seems to be is that he seems to like it seems like he definitely likes his booze, but he
Yeah.
doesn't seem to be a physically violent towards people type person. He seems to be kind of a sensitive guy. The one thing I don't like is it's good to know that abuse can happen from either gender. Do you know what I mean? Like there's definitely a group of people that are pointing this and being like, look, women can do it too. And look, they absolutely can. It is possible to be in a relationship as a male and have your, partner, whether it's another male or a female, abuse you physically, even though it goes against the sort of like tropes and the norms of how we've come to like define abuse in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I would be careful to like point to this case as like anytime another one of these celebrity things comes up and be like, well, look, in Johnny Depp's case, it turned out she was the abuser.
Right.
I would just like wait to get all the facts and hear, even if you feel like you need to do all that. For the most part, like who gives a shit? But we're talking about it now because it's quote unquote news and it's what everyone seems to be having a discussion about. But let's just take every case on its own sort of like facts and hear people out. But this sucks you in because he's an A-list star. He's like one of the best sort of like actors we had growing up, and we love to be in people's business.
Yes, and if you think before social media and like the stories of movie stars, even when early in Johnny Depp's career, right, you would like hear about this type of behavior, and it was almost like an appeal of him. Do you know what I mean? It was like this cool, like
he trashed his hotel room.
Yeah. And so, the way life is now and to see it, it's just sad to me. It's just really sad.
Okay, great. Moving on. Dave Chappelle getting assaulted
at
a show. What do you know about it?
So I was seeing
your version of the news. Yeah.
I was seeing things like the guy didn't get charged, but now he did get charged. How does somebody bum rush a stage? I don't understand. Where is the security? Like this is
Was he a transgender, or was it a transgender person?
Unconfirmed. I don't know.
Okay.
Look it up.
Yeah, I like doing our version of the news where we just don't have any of the facts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The one thing
look it up?
I will. The one thing I did hear was that there was a ghost gun, but it had a knife in it.
Yes.
Which I just don't understand.
Yeah. How do you get in with even a ghost gun? How do you get in with a fake looking gun?
You're going to assault somebody, bring a cane, pretend to have a limp, pull the top of the cane out, boom, knife. Hiding a knife in a gun? I don't know how that's serving anyone. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how you use a gun knife for anything other than like, well, I guess it's slightly less deadly, but not like it still seems like a two weapons. You're hiding a weapon in a weapon. Doesn't make any sense to me.
It also makes me like really unnerved that you could walk into a stadium like that with something that looks like a gun on you and no one knew.
Yeah, I think here's what I don't get, right? If you go through a metal detector, which I like think plastic? You do. Yeah, the ghost guns are plastic because they're like 3D printed. But
isn't the knife
is not. The knife is metal. So like I don't understand. If it goes through a metal detector, it's going to pick up the knife.
Well, Chappelle's shows are famous for not allowing people to bring in your cell phones, but obviously some people still get it by. So I saw the footage of the very tail end of him, like basically tackling him like a linebacker. It's just unnerving. I feel like we're starting to feel less safe in the world, if
Yeah,
that was
for sure.
possible.
It's just there's just too much access to people, I think, is the problem.
Yes.
During Chappelle, okay, so this says during Chappelle's Tuesday set for the Netflix's A Joke Festival at the Hollywood Bowl, an attacker later identified as 23-year-old Isaiah Lee rushed the stage, tackling him after he rapped a routine about comedians worrying about their personal safety after the infamous moment when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock during the 94th Academy Awards. In response to Rock making a joke about the actor's wife. Along with security guards, Oscar-winning actor Jamie Foxx reportedly helped Chappelle fight off Lee, who police confirmed possessed a replica handgun that contained a real knife blade inside. We have to let people be able to. This is what I liked about the 90s. People could kind of say whatever.
Yeah.
And we understood that they were, for the most part, like performing, or they were comedians, and there was some sort of like barrier of reality here that we weren't like probably believing them all the way. We never took anyone totally at face value,
Right.
Which I really like the progress society has made, but it is possible that we've kind of gone too far in certain areas, and this might be one of them. I do like the idea of like, you can say whatever you want, but also we could, like, people can have an opinion and respond and clap back in any way they want. I don't think the physical violence thing is should be included in that. It says a lot more about the mental health decline of people out there in general. Good luck to anyone performing, and
good luck, Sarah.
Good luck, Sarah. She's in the other room right now putting on her bulletproof vest. Okay, I guess I have some emails here.
Great.
I have some Instagram questions. I think there's quite a bit to talk about. Without Rob's Sharpie questions, I actually asked our Instagrammers for Sharpie questions of their own.
And did you get some?
Oh, I got some.
Great.
Never fear, our audience will fill in whenever one of us is out, okay?
Shady Rays, you guys, it's
new sponsor alert. New sponsor alert.
Summertime's coming. Sunglass season is here. We have so many options for sunglasses, but we have got the best one for you from our friends at Shady Rays. What is Shady Rays? It's an independent sunglass company that offers world-class product that's just as good as any of the expensive ones that you've worn, with durable frames that are extremely clear, polarized lenses, all of it. And guess what? This is my favorite thing. If you lose or break your pair, even on day one, they told us that they will send you a brand new pair, no questions asked, because this shit happens with sunglasses.
The amount of sunglasses I've lost,
it's disgusting.
I got to tell you, I lost more when I wasn't sober, but I still misplace things all the time.
It's probably the number one thing.
It's the number one thing. This has to be the greatest value proposition in a company I have ever seen. Agreed. I don't know how they stay in business, so let's take advantage of it.
And you know what else they do? They provide 10 meals to fight hunger in America with every order, and they've donated over 20 million meals to date. While you look good in your shades, you can feel good about the impact that you're having. And again, if you don't love them, you exchange them for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop with Shady Rays. So exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com and use code PAJAMA for 50% off 2 pairs of polarized sunglasses.
This just keeps getting better and better. Guys, support Shady Rays. I don't know how you don't without. I mean, they're giving people meals. Free. They're replacing your lost sunglasses. You're getting half off.
Come on, send us pictures of you and your Shady Rays. ShadyRays.com. Promo code PAJAMA. Everyone's trying to start. Everyone's a business owner now. Everyone's got their big ideas of how they're going to do it. But yeah, you don't know how. And that's why you've got Shopify. Shopify gives entrepreneurs the resources once reserved only for big businesses. So now upstarts, startups, and established businesses alike can sell everywhere, synchronize online and in-person sales, and effortlessly stay informed. Believe me, okay? This podcast, we believe in Shopify. We've talked about it a lot with you. I've talked about my own personal experiences with it. Shopify powers millions of businesses from first sale to full scale. They help you reach customers online through the social networks. They help you with with your ever-growing channel of integrations with apps, with Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. They gain insights for you as you grow. They have detailed reporting of conversion rates, profit margins. This is the words and things that I didn't even know about, but as a new business owner, they will teach you and guide you.
That's right. Go to shopify.com/pajama, all lowercase, for a free 14-day trial and get full access to Shopify's entire suite of features. Grow your business with Shopify today. Go to shopify.com/pajama right now. Shopify.com/pajama. And now back to the show. Dun, 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 dun. Sharpie questions from the audience. Okay. Pajama Pants Podcast, if you want to follow us on Instagram. Okay. From Instagram, Stet McCoy asks, what are some conspiracy theories that you actually think are true?
I feel like
Jamie,
you're
I'll
the
give
one
you
for this.
What's that?
I feel like you're the good one.
Yeah, I'll give you one or two of mine. If anything comes to your mind, Jamie, let me know. I'll give you a mild one and I'll give you a more serious one.
Okay.
I think the CIA killed JFK. Okay. I think that's one that's more widely believed.
Yeah.
But ultimately you asked, which conspiracy theories do we think are true? I do think the CIA offed our president. I don't know why. There are a lot of reasons why. I come from the UFO world. A lot of people in the UFO world think it's because he had and was going to spill the beans about aliens. It seems like every community has their own thoughts around why JFK was going to die. And same thing for Martin Luther King. I think the CIA is, for the most part, acted in large ways like a terrorist organization. Do I think this country's better off for having the CIA? I don't know. Maybe. I don't have all the facts. I never will. Wow. I don't know. A mild conspiracy theory. I think Kleenex boxes are designed to where when you pull one out, sometimes you pull two out, and it's made to get through the box faster, making you buy another box of Kleenex sooner than you normally would. Okay?
I don't really agree with that. I think you just have lazy hands.
Do you think I've got poor dexterity?
Yes.
Do you have any, Jamie, that come to your head, or should I just move on to the next one?
Move on. I don't know anything about conspiracy theories.
Okay, great. Have you seen, let's say, Mike Shelbo's any movies to review, old or new? That includes shows. Are you watching anything right now that you are really enjoying?
Yellowstone.
Okay, give me a 30-second elevator pitch of why I should be watching Yellowstone without any spoilers.
Incredible acting, great characters, heavily flawed, like fleshed out characters. Kind of like a nod to the Western, but like has all the good soapy things that you like about a drama, but it's not cheesy writing, beautiful backdrops. And again, just like fucking great acting and good storytelling. How was that?
I loved it. I do want to watch it. I think for some reason Sarah seems to have some resistance around it. And to be honest, when it first came out, I had resistance around it because it looks like a slow burn.
It's not. It's like the first 2, 3, 4, you're getting to know the family, you're getting to know the dynamics, you're getting to know who people are, and then it starts speeding up. I'm watching the season finale of season 3 right now, and probably one of the crazier episodes of television I've ever seen.
I love it.
Yeah.
There is a lot of good TV that I should be watching right now that I'm totally behind on, like Atlanta, which is the first 2 seasons of that show is, I think, some of the best TV I've ever seen. Same thing with Barry. There's a new season of Barry on HBO.
You watched The Dropout?
I haven't finished it. I think I'm on the episode just after she does the dance.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
it's so great.
We just kind of stopped there because we started watching Severance, and
I heard that's great.
Severance was one of the best things I've watched in like a couple years. I really did enjoy it. I thought it was so original and had no idea where it was going.
That's fun always.
And that's so fun. I do have some things I've watched recently that I think you guys might be interested in. So for G4 TV, I do a Moon Knight recap show. Moon Knight's the Oscar Isaac show on Disney Plus that just ended. It's 6 episodes. It's a Marvel character that most people have no clue who he is and what he does. As far as the Disney Plus shows, I think it's probably tied for the best Disney Plus show if you guys are into the Marvel universe. And it's probably a very small fraction of Pajama Pants listeners, but I know there are some of you that are out there. I do think if you like Oscar Isaac, who transcends Marvel and he's just a great actor, period, he gets to really flex in this show because he technically plays 3 different characters in this show. Yeah.
Cool.
3 personalities. I went to a screening of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which came out Friday, which is Marvel's so far one of their biggest release. I think their biggest release of the year so far, one of the biggest in the last few. There's some big spoilers. I won't get into that. If you are watching this on the day it comes out, which is Monday, or you're listening to this podcast on Monday, today, we're doing a live discussion about it on our G4 YouTube and Twitch channels, where we're going to be going into the spoilers. But if you're a Marvel person and you're caught up on the movies, even if you're not caught up, but you enjoy the movies, you should see it. I think you'll enjoy it. Here's something that kind of came out of left field because Sarah likes some I don't want to say trashy TV because I've been watching some of the stuff that's kind of mindless that she enjoys. And so we like to do a little bit of like, let's watch some trash. Let's watch something of substance.
Yep.
We are watching Keeping Up or with whatever the new Kardashian show is. Have you seen this? Have you watched it?
I saw 1 episode of it.
I don't like that I've been able to like enjoy it a little bit.
It's very like shot very fancy.
It's shot like Laguna Hill. Remember that show Laguna Hills where it's
Laguna Beach?
Laguna Beach. Yeah. What was the show? Was that it?
Yeah, well, because then after that was The Hills.
The Hills.
That's why you're getting
The Hills. Yes. Laguna Hills. That's not a place. The Kardashians there's I think what it is that makes that show interesting is it's like, here's a view into a lifestyle in a world that we don't have access to, that we don't know about. I like Kanye West, so occasionally Kanye West pops in and it's like,
yeah,
what's this? Like the biggest mystery about Kanye West is like, what's he like off camera? What's his persona?
When you see him like smile and like just have a conversation with Kris Jenner and you're like, you're just a nice guy.
Right. I want to know I want to see
Here's
that
the thing.
side.
I never cared about it when it was on E before because it felt like this like heavily produced, putting them in like these silly situations. Like you're going to open a store in Miami. Like they weren't doing that. But now I feel like it's all just their lives and they're so famous and they're so rich. They're not like looking to like create scenarios. Like you're just actually watching their lives now.
Right. Like they're on that private jet because they're like going to her SNL taping or whatever.
Right.
I mean,
there's legit shit happening. Yeah.
They kind of like willed that existence, into reality. That seemed like they were putting on some sort of illusion, and I guess in the early seasons of that show, and then now it's like, they're just super famous people.
Yeah.
And they all have celebrity like exes or current husbands or wives, and it's
crazy.
It is crazy. There's only 3 episodes of it. If you really give a shit, it's on Hulu. One show that kind of caught me by surprise that we started watching was Selling Sunset.
Oh yeah, I got on that train.
Tell me about it. Tell me about Selling Sunset. Tell me about, have you seen the new season?
I've seen
Why do I give a shit?
I don't know. I don't know either. I watched a couple of episodes of it. I'm just still really confused about the dynamic. I'm confused about how dressed up they get every day. I'm confused if they're really realtors or not. I just am confused, but I'm watching it.
Yeah, I think the part that keeps me engaged is like the homes that they show and they showcase. And
I wish they showed it more.
I wish they showed it more.
Don't care about the drama. I want to see the cool homes.
Yeah, that's because you're kind of wired like a dude a little bit. Because I think that show appeals to both. Like it is a cool show for couples to watch because the guys get to see these like super fancy architectural digest style homes that are completely expensive. And then it would be, can't just, I guess you can go to Zillow for some of this stuff, but like it's a fun way to see really expensive homes. And then the drama between the real estate agents is like, I really don't need, but it's necessary to drive some of these plots forward.
I don't care. Like, I think
Yeah.
that's the problem. I really don't care about their drama, but I'm watching it. So maybe I do.
Yeah.
I
It's
saw that
interesting.
they
Yeah, go
announced
ahead.
today, or they had the reunion already, that Trishelle is dating now a non-binary rapper from Australia named G-Flip.
A non-binary, which means that he's not either sex.
It's they.
It's a they.
I believe was a woman. Now a they.
Did you watch the last season of the most current season of Selling
That's what
Sunset?
I'm watching right now.
Is Giselle, what's her name?
Trishelle.
Trishelle, is she
What
the
a
one
tongue
that's
twister.
Trishelle, is she the one that's trying to have a baby and she's dating the short owner of the guys?
Yep.
Okay. By the way, these two men that own this real estate group are they're built like children. They are small. They are very small. Nice guys, nice enough.
Bald.
Very successful. But when you see them next to their girlfriends or whatever, it looks like a woman with her child.
They're about 5'5" and no hair.
They are bald. They look like big babies.
And they've dated like a couple of, at least the one that she's with has dated a few women within the office.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know there was one other one, that the other blonde that he's dated. So, okay. Yeah. So you're saying the one that is currently dating Jason in the last season of this show is now dating a
G-Flip.
Now dating a they named G-Flip. Wow. That used to be a woman.
It looks like it.
Okay.
From Australia, 27.
They. Please refer to me as a they.
They.
Not a he, or not a she.
They've moved in with Trishelle.
Well, they've moved in together.
They move in together. Big step.
Oh, it's a big step. That was more New Zealand. Okay, great. All right, Selling Sunset. If you guys are looking for trash, yeah. Good. Selling Sunset is on Netflix. Watch that. Kardashians on Hulu. Moon Knight on Disney Plus. Doctor Strange in theaters now. Those are what we're watching. And that was a really long answer for that Instagram question from Mike Shelbo. This is one that I don't think I've heard you answer, but maybe you have in some roundabout way. This is from Cass Diario. Jamie, which season of Sopranos was your favorite to film? Which era of Meadow is your fave?
The third season.
Easy answer there, huh?
Where she was getting to college, Jackie Jr., Noah.
When they started really developing your storyline.
Yeah, exactly.
Gave you more to do. And
when I had a shit ton to do was my favorite.
Of course. Great. Ethan asks, what's your best advice for a first-year college student? But the way they spelled it, collage student. Ethan, right off the bat, take an English class. Jamie?
I don't know. I deferred 2 semesters in my first year. So I am not one to ask. Rob didn't go to college. Cass, did you go to college?
I dropped out of community college. It was important. So I lost, I don't know, $1,500.
The three of us are like the worst. We don't have this answer.
We're the wrong people to ask. Here's what I will say about my journey through it. I was one of these people that I need to be motivated. I need to be doing something I'm interested in. Mm-hmm. And when I am, I go 100% in, right? If I'm doing something that I feel like I just kind of following a path that other people have laid out, or I kind of have to do, and I'm not fully invested, I spin my wheels. I'm a C student, D student, whatever. When I was in community college, I was doing a lot of the following the path, doing the things that I thought I had to do because my friends were doing them. And then I took a theater and an improv class, and then had a great teacher. Like one teacher can really make all the difference. And I had a fantastic teacher who really saw a lot of potential and helped nurture that and helped me start doing comedy and, helped me book my first stand-up shows and stuff like that. So once I luckily I was spinning my wheels, and then I found something that I really enjoyed. And then once that clicked, I was kind of off to the races with that stuff. But when it comes to college, I don't know, man. That's like, I'm not the guy. I would say find something you're kind of interested in, because if you're not, how do you expect yourself to like read and participate and
then spend all that money?
Yeah. And also, no shame in going to a community college, guys.
No.
Especially out here in California, community colleges are a fantastic way to get into a UC school, save a ton of money, stay at home if you're close, and then go do 2 years at a university. So yeah, get all the general education out of the way for less money, and then go to the university to get the degree, the specialized degree.
Mm-hmm.
Or go to, like, the one thing they tell you is like you miss out on the socialize, the college aspect. That's one thing I never got, was like what it's like to go live in a dorm, what it's like to just like be drunk but have a term paper due. Like, none of that stuff I did. None of the fucking around, like drugs and alcohol and women. I didn't do any of that stuff. I think I found my way towards that after.
I was gonna say there's other times in your life you could do that if you really have the calling.
Yeah. And I know, look, college is one of those things that I feel like it's losing its appeal as we sort of like move through the 2020s. I think if you're going to spend money on education, like trade schools, charter schools are not a bad idea. It's turning out that everyone's just going to become an influencer, and then we're all going to make universal basic income, which is something I think Austin is doing. I don't know if you've heard. I saw this morning that Austin is experimenting in basic income. You might want to look into that. It might be good.
I don't know what that means.
They're going to start just giving people base income. I don't know how that. I should probably have looked that up and used it for news in the show, because you live in Austin. But guess what? Robbie isn't here. I'm off my game.
Oh, very confusing.
Memes for Dad asks, why doesn't Jamie want to have a discussion about aliens?
I didn't say I didn't want to.
What's going on there, Jamie?
Nothing. I'm a believer. I think I just get bored when we talk too long.
Fair enough. Okay. Fair enough. This is from Joey. Have Sarah on. I can hear her in the bathroom right now.
She's pooping.
Well, I hear the shower. Okay, this is for Amy. We need an update on Bo's girl situation.
Well, so 2 things happened today. Bo,
hot off the presses.
Bo got an Eagle Award. So every week, kids in their school get awards. So whether it's for friendship, kindness, whatever. And it's a surprise. So we knew he was getting it. So we were at school, and he got it for, big surprise, pride. Because Bo's really good at being proud of himself. So Bo got the Eagle Award for
an
pride.
Award for pride?
Yes. That he shows pride in his work and himself, and that he's an example of pride, and that it's a positive attribute.
Okay.
So they announced his name in the speaker. He came down to the cafeteria, and they took pictures, whatever. And then we walked him back up to his room to say hi, and everyone came to the door to say hi, and especially to meet Jack, because Bo tells lies about Jack. And
it's like Jack's an astronaut.
The only kid that didn't walk up to the door was his girlfriend. She stayed at her desk and just watched from the back.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And like barely looked up at us. And I was like, okay.
Are they like sort of in a tiff?
No, I think it's just like,
she was nervous?
I told you, the respect I have for this little chick is up there. Like, she's just like too fucking cool. She's like, I'm not going to pay my respects. So then later this morning, Bo had one of the fastest times for running the mile in his grade.
Are you allowed to say? Are you allowed to say how fast?
He did it in 7 minutes and 20 seconds.
That's fast for any person,
right?
Yeah.
So they had all the grades compete, the 6 best times. So we went today to go watch him compete at his time. He did terrible because he was like, he had an audience. So he was like, oh my God. And I was like, Bo, you're going to like tire yourself out throwing your body. But she was there, like the whole grade was there cheering them on. And she was there cheering him on. And every time he would get like to her, he would like pick up the speed. But then afterwards, we went over to congratulate him. And I really wanted an opportunity to meet her. And she darted so fucking fast away into the playground. And I'm like,
wow.
She's
ducking
my
you.
respect her even more that she doesn't even give a shit.
Why are you giving respect to somebody who's showing?
She's too fucking cool. Like me as a kid, I would like want to meet the mom, want to make the mom love me. Like that's still me. Like that's who I am. And the fact that she does give zero fucks about me, I like her even more. I'm desperate for her to pay attention to me.
It's almost like she does care to the point where she's avoiding you. Do you know what I mean? Like it would be cool if like she came up, she's like, "Hey, Mrs. Dexter, like what's up? All right, anyways," and then but like it seems like she's running away from you and doing everything she can to not meet you, which is showing me she kind of does care. Which is uncool, by the way. It's uncool to care.
I don't know.
I love to hear about Bo's mile time though. What a little speed demon.
I mean, there was a kid that lapped him like almost twice.
There's always one kid from Kenya that's gonna do it in like 5 minutes.
He was white, but he had a body of a runner. Do you know what I mean? He was like tall and like really lean. Oh, but there was this one kid.
Yeah.
What was second to last? There was this one kid that finished last, and he was crying on like it was 6 laps to make a mile, and like the 4.5, 5, he got like a bad cramp, and he knew he wasn't gonna make it. And he was crying, and then his dad was like, "You're gonna finish the race." And we're all his parents were like, "Oh God." And the kid walked off the track, like walking to the parking lot, crying, throwing a fit, and I felt so bad for him.
Oh yeah, that's
terrible. But on a positive note, what I got to watch the first graders before the second graders, I got there early. And there was this little girl, because they had the girls race and then the boys. There was this little girl going, and she was trying to finish, and she had some tears because clearly she had like a cramp or whatever. And they had older kids in the middle cheering the little ones on, which is just the sweetest. And this like 5th grade girl to this 1st grader was like, "Do you know how hard it is to make it? Do you know how hard it is to have made it to be here? And you did that. Don't give up. You've got this." And I was bawling. I was just,
oh no.
There's something about an older kid being kind to a younger kid that just gets me. It just feels like that's human. That's like, you can't really teach that. Like, I just, it gives me faith in humanity. I just love seeing kids naturally being kind to other ones. I don't know. It was just a really sweet moment to see.
I love that. I do. I hate to hear about the oppressive like coach dad.
Well, you know that's intense here in Texas.
Oh, you got to imagine. You know what it reminds me of that show Euphoria, and let me just tell you, it does some damage psychologically.
We see what that breed is.
We see what happens and what they do when they go to a motel on the side of the road.
Jesus.
Okay, look, that's Instagram questions. I have a couple emails. Update. That's so good. And I actually, as we transition into emails, which is if you want to send us an email, askpajamapants@gmail.com. We may read them on the show. This email is from someone named Bo.
Oh, hi.
Hi. And he says, "Hey guys, longtime listener, first time emailer. I thought this could apply to any of you, and I wanted to get your opinion on this. I'm in my mid-30s and I work remotely in IT. I'm also an avid homebody introvert. Between these issues, I'm having a lot of trouble making any kind of connections in person. I have my family and they're great, and for the most part, but I have literally no friends. Well, I have old friends who were far from me, but I don't have people to just hang with anymore. My interests aren't really conducive to making friends, pretty typical nerd shit. And yeah, I'm not really sure how to make friends as an adult. The only thing I can think of that I like to do that's relatively social is going to comedy shows. But that's been on hold for the last couple of years because of the pandemic and me being a mild hypochondriac. I might start going to those again now that things seem to be leveling out with the pandemic, but even so, I suck and hate small talk. So I just need advice. Is it just a matter of putting myself out there? and forcing myself to practice small talk. I don't think it helps that I'm 6'1" and have a shaved head and a resting fuck off expression either. Anyway, it just seems easier now to get laid than to make a friend at this point, and I'm not sure what to do. I hope you guys might have some advice since Rob seems fairly introverted. Jamie just moved to a new place and had to make new friends, and Cassim's a giant nerd like me. Love the pod, and you guys, thanks for reading. Bo, pronounced just like Jamie's son.
Wait, so take me back. Bo works from home? Did I read that right?
Yeah, he works remotely in IT.
So that's hard. Okay. Bo, well, look, I think you're clearly feeling like you want connection and friends, and I think that that's a positive. I think we should look at that like you're not like, I would be more worried if you're like, I'm so content being alone and I have no friends and it doesn't matter to me. Like, then I would be worried about you. So I think only go to things that you enjoy. Yes, like comedy clubs. So maybe, right, people that go to comedy clubs like humor. You're probably going to find some like-minded people because they're seeing the same types of comedians that you're looking at. So what if there's like a t-shirt that's like an icebreaker? Do you know what I mean? Like, Cass, if like you went out with like an I Love Aliens t-shirt, I'm sure you would find one or two people to be like, oh, me too. Did you see that Bob Lazar thing? Blah, blah, blah. And like, you'd have you. And you'd be like, yeah, I've got a sketch on my wall. And
Fuck
so then you would just
dude.
keep talking. But do you know what I'm saying? I know that might be like a shitty piece of advice, but I think it's a simple one that could get you finding somebody that has a common interest or have a conversation. But I also think like, I mean, I was able to meet a lot of people because I'm a mom. So I met kids in school that are the parents of my kids that are in their class and things like that. But I even met people because Bo loves baseball. So going to his baseball, I'm with around other moms. And so I was able to meet people that way. So now you don't have a kid, but like, what are some interests or extracurricular things that you might like? I know you're an introvert, but what if it's, I don't know, what could be something, Cass, that like,
look,
dudes are into?
that's good advice. I think it's tough because a lot of people meet friends through work and you don't have that ability because you work remotely. Okay, so maybe a couple things here I would try. First of all, on these dating apps, you don't have to date. You can make specific like here to make friends sort of thing.
Oh yeah,
and
that's true.
That for somebody like you might be great because you seem like a real nice guy. I do agree with Jamie. It is nice that you're trying to put yourself out there and you kind of recognize that you're in a unique position. I honestly, it might just be easy because you can be at home and be an introvert and be on these apps and still be
and have
social,
the small talk that way.
have the small talk, and then you can sort and find out if people are like into the things that you're into on the apps. It might be easier than going to like Reddit and joining a subreddit, or maybe just going to a subreddit that you're already a part of that's like a gaming subreddit, and then trying to find people that live in your area. That's a little more complicated. I would just start on a dating app. I know Bumble does this where you can just do friends. I'm pretty sure Hinge does it. I would hop on the apps. I would get some nice photos of yourself. If you want to check out kind of what makes a good dating profile, we've reviewed a lot of people's dating profiles on this show. I don't know which episodes. I think we did one like 3 or 4 back. But essentially, get a nice photo of yourself, nice lighting, smile, get a shot of you dressed up, get a shot of you with an animal. Just don't like overcompensate in any way. Don't hold a fish up in your pictures. Don't take shots of you working out unless like you think you want to attract that type of person who's kind of superficial in that way. Just be yourself. Get good photos that even if you don't think a photo of you looks good, if you're just in your natural expression, and you aren't catfishing people into thinking you're a different person than you are, just take a photo of yourself. Make sure the lighting is good, list your interests, and then just go do it that way. Right. And then, and write back and let us know if any of that is good advice, if it worked. I'm sure you're not the only person out there that's struggling to meet people, because most, a lot of people are working from home, and a lot of people don't get that sort of social connection from people they work with.
Yeah.
So hope that works for you. Jamie, before we wrap up, do you have anything else that you'd like to mention? 10 seconds,
Big
your
Sky
thought on
is wrapping up.
abortions?
Oh, no. Big Sky is wrapping up, you guys, for the season. So if you like that show, tune in.
That's on ABC.
ABC and Hulu.
Okay, cool. Watch it on Hulu if you don't have cable. And on cable, what day and time?
Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. If you don't watch it or haven't seen it, but last night I killed a guy. I killed a guy with my hands.
Gabby, let's clip that. Okay. Well, you heard it, guys. If you want to see Jamie do the unthinkable, tune into Big Sky on Hulu and on ABC.
She's a bad girl.
Yeah, she is. Oh, was she a little like waitress? Was she
not anymore?
Unassuming waitress.
She works for the drug cartel.
Oh, wow. I got to watch this show. Okay, great. If you guys want to send us emails, askpajamapants@gmail.com. We do have a subreddit, r/pajamapants podcast. I do just very quickly want to let you guys know that I got an email from a Billy McGee saying that he was banned from the subreddit because he said something, but it seemed like he's very sorry. Let's unban Billy McGee.
Unban Billy
subreddit.
McGee.
Okay, I received his apologies. He's gonna rectify his behavior. Let's get him back on the subreddit. You guys should join. I know there's a lot of folks that don't even use Reddit. Get with it. Join it. Follow us on Instagram. We just passed 40,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Hey.
So we're so happy that you guys are following us on our journey. And thanks for dealing with a Robless episode. We did it. Some of you
I know it's hard.
didn't tune in. Fuck you. But
fuck
he will
you.
be back. Fuck you. And then next pod, we will be together.
Can't wait.
Right?
Yes.
That's it. I'm pretty sure that's how that.
Or at least Rob and I will be.
At least you and Rob. I might fly in a little bit later. Yeah, that's true. Which will be great. They don't need me.
It's gonna be great.
It'll be great. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We'll see you next week.